Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. And I think Rob Moore is still there. Well, I believe we're ready. We'll go ahead and welcome everyone for our Board of Commission meeting today. We have Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Gardner is on her way. She may appear in a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and get started with just the two of us for now. And we'll suspend rules for any motions. As we do for every Board of Commission meeting, we invite public to offer as a volunteer reading, prayer, or thought, followed by another volunteer to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Is there anyone here who would like to do one or the other? Pledge, Alice, thank you. I'll go ahead and then lead us in prayer if that's okay. Our Father in heaven, we are grateful, remarkable country that thou hast given to us and has great influence throughout the world for good, and we're grateful to be part of this and glad now to have this meeting in which we may deliberate on concerns within this county and ask for thy company as we do so. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, you'll see a blank space underneath the title consent agenda. What we'll next do is go through the regular agenda, and we will consider those items we'd like to hold so we can discuss them, and anything that we don't have any further comments on, we go ahead and just automatically move them to consent. So with that, items 1 through 10, are there any that would like to be held? Commissioner Lee?
On the whole agenda, number 4 and number 11 are the only two that I have to be held.
Number 4 and number 11. Okay. And I'm going to make a comment on number 2 and be very brief. 12 through 16. None.
Those are the only two for me.
And number 14, that talks about gun locks, and that is provided only as a service to those who might want them, just as they provide bicycle helmets. There's no compulsion to force people to use them. So I just want to make that note on that one. And I double checked, there are no items to be held by Human Resources or Civil Division. So we will strike numbers 17, 18, 19, and 20.
That is correct, Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. So with that, Eileen?
Okay, I have hold on 2, 3, and 4. Hold on 11. Strike 7. As for closed meetings, we will strike on 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Okay. Commissioner Gardner has joined us for this. Anyone who's listening, are there any items, Commissioner Gardner, that you would like to hold? We've held in 2, 3, 4, and 11.
I didn't have any additional ones, no.
Okay. Then with that, I asked just to do a pause on 2 and 3. These are one and the same item, and it's for Officer Nicole Pearson. She has served with the county since April 2012, so almost 10 and a half years. And we often approve these automatically, but comment should be made that the work that the sheriff's do as a body and in conjunction with cities, supporting various cities and then what they're doing, is a 24/7, 365 days a year operation, and it's an exhausting one frequently. And so I just want to give a quick pause just to thank Deputy Pearson for her 10.5 years of service. So with that, I'll make a motion to approve 2 and 3.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes 3-0. We are now on item number 4 in our regular agenda.
So I asked that item number 4 be held as to receive a recommendation proposal for an RFP. And this has gone through its process with evaluation and evaluation committee. And they have 3 on here: Kenny Singh Construction, WW Clyde. Kenny Singh was number 1. They were unanimously picked by the recommending committee, and WW Clyde and Hadco Construction. And so with that, I'd like to make a motion that that we have reviewed the recommendations and that Kenny Singh Construction be nominated the award, going through any negotiations or processes that we have.
I've got no issue, so I can second that motion.
Any further comments on what you've already given us, Robert? Nope. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, that passes 3-0. Okay, we are now on agenda number 11.
Yes, and so I held this one too. I think it's important for us anytime we have things that are going on just on a transparency basis, that the public has the opportunity to kind of know what's happening, even though it may not be right here at our doorstep, it is close by. And so I've asked representatives, and I'm publicly going to apologize for yesterday giving you the wrong time and everything and coming. So I'm glad you're here today. They're going to tell us about what they're doing with the avian flu response, kind of give us an overview and what is happening maybe here in the state, maybe a little bit nationally too. So please just make sure and state your name, and that way we can have it for the record.
Dr. Stephen Just with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Appreciate the opportunity, and Commissioner Lee, I appreciate the invite to be here today. Again, I'm a veterinarian with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and I'm serving as the incident commander for the incident management team that was called in to assist the state of Utah. And again, we were invited in by the state veterinarian, state animal health official for Utah. This is actually the second time I arrived this week, and I'm here for 3 weeks myself and my team. This is actually the second time I was here. I was here back in July and in August as the incident in Utah began. Just to give you a little bit of where the situation is in the United States and throughout Utah. So far within the United States, we've had 542 flocks affected in 42 states, 243 commercial flocks. In Utah, we've had 24 premises. 17 of those are commercial flocks. It's been going on throughout the United States since about March. So unfortunately, we'd all like to be done quickly, but unfortunately, we can't say when that might end. So feel free to ask questions if there's something in particular that you'd like to know, but a little bit of where we're at right now. We have about 40 responders with the USDA from many states here in Utah responding to the incident. We are setting up as the request here is for our incident command post to be here in Provo. We're currently working out of a hotel right now. While I can't say exactly where the infected prems are, but currently Provo is centrally located for how our response activities are. So between infected premises and also with the veterinary diagnostic lab in Logan, the state veterinarian's office in Salt Lake City. So it's a good central location for us. I've certainly appreciated the hospitality the few days that I've been here in Provo, and again, my first trip this summer hospitality of everybody in Utah, and just share with you, I was visiting with one of the staff at the hotel just before coming here, and it was very nice. She thanked us and appreciated the work that we were doing. So again, everyone here has been very welcoming, and certainly appreciate that for a situation that is difficult for everyone.
So from my conversations, the instances that we have in the state are south. San Pete County was one of the areas that I saw the dot, and then I saw two other dots north. I couldn't tell if they were Box Elder or where they're at up north. Those are the kind of the two areas, but you're primarily focusing on the San Pete County, or are you doing both?
Currently in the south, there no active investigations going on up north. Some of those began earlier this spring, and so they're still identified on maps. So you are correct.
Okay. And then when I saw those maps around the United States, especially back east, it looks like they're in a lot worse shape than we are. I can't see color, but I could see that there was a lot of activity.
Right. And I would direct anybody that wants more information, the APHIS, and I apologize for the acronyms. It is APHIS, Animal Plant Health Inspection Service. So the APHIS USDA website has those maps, has the number of infected premises, number of animals affected, and you can see that. And you are correct. The East Coast, certainly in the Midwest, and obviously some of the turkey producing areas are very hard hit. You also see in there we differentiate between, again, the commercial flocks and what we call the backyard flocks. As I said, 243 out of 542 flocks were commercial, so roughly 300 flocks backyard. So those are also scattered throughout those states.
And so on our agenda is to approve a lease, which is this would be a no-cost lease, be on a mutual aid basis. So you could stage up as the incident commander with your team of about 14, 15?
40.
40?
So our management team consists of anywhere from 14 personnel that are on the team. We have support staff within there as well. We have about 40 responders. So most of those are working out in the field on farms.
Okay.
Yes.
So here in the offices here, though, we're talking about 14 or 15 people. And then some coming back and forth.
Correct. And again, I with caveat that, as with any type of emergency response incident, it can increase if the situation requires that, but currently that's where it's at.
And from what I understand too, in talking, I forget his last name, was Billy something.
Billy Graham, sir.
Graham, yes. I should not forget that, but anyway.
I was like, how'd you forget
How
that?
did I forget that?
You remember the Billy part.
Yeah, I got that. It's interesting, and I remembered that part. In talking with him on some of it too, one of the concerns which he alleviated was I was worried about PPE and stuff coming back and forth, but he reassured me that that's all going to stay in a trailer, and that those those issues go south or go to a site, they don't leave, they don't come back, because I was worried about coming back into the offices and moving back and forth, but now that's not the case. And so the offices that we have is kind of on the second level. I can't remember, there's like three or four offices, and we'll provide tables and of course the power hookup and stuff for you to get in there. But I really appreciate being able to, to come and talk to this. I think it's important that the public knows that there's things going on, and it gives an opportunity, for us to assist, but also to make aware to the public, those who are listening, the two that are listening right now. Yeah.
One of them's probably my mom. My mom. No. In fact, that's what I was going to ask is, do you have anything that you would like the general public to know? I know that there are a lot of backyard homesteaders in this state. Our zoning laws in most of our cities are very favorable, for example, to backyard chickens, and that's a very common thing for people to have. So I don't know if you have any info that we could disseminate to the public, that you'd like the public to know that would be helpful to you.
Well, I appreciate the question. My role as the incident commander, I'm not exactly the best spokesperson, and unfortunately, we don't have our public information officer here. But I would happy to.
Yeah, but if they
to
do, so if
get
you do
that
have a
information.
PIO and they do have information they would like to get out, let us know and we'll see how we can help. I know that I owned a farm until just a few years ago, and it's very common for folks around here to have,
Absolutely.
2 acres and 20 chickens.
Yep. And again, I do appreciate that question, the opportunity to address it. And so, one, the reservoir for the high path avian influenza virus is waterfall, wild waterfall. And so we would like to try to decrease that interaction, right? And that can be difficult sometimes. So doing what we can do there. Also, not going from one place that has birds to another. That's always a good disease, whatever type of
Not
disease.
letting our chickens play with our neighbor's chickens.
Right. Or if you're going,
Bring 'em to the
if
chicken
you
park.
yourself are going to someone else's place
Right.
and then coming back, that we might carry the virus on our shoes, on our clothes, anything like that. And then also a quick response. So if you do see your birds becoming ill, contacting the state veterinarian's office. It is not a pretty disease. It generally is fatal, depending on the species. So the quicker that there can be a response, hopefully we can prevent the spread to others.
Right. Good to know.
Given what you know, you have it through middle of November, toward third week of November. Any anticipation to stay longer than that? I know, as you can say, emergencies kind of vary, but
Right.
given what you know of the facts.
I cannot say.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The only problem we have is that room is going to be used, and so we only have a short window.
No, I understand. We're aware of that, and believe me, we as much as I said, and I do enjoy the state here, we would all like to be done by then. And if we get to that point, obviously we understand where we'd have to.
And
relocate.
Lieutenant Quitner's behind you, and he's always ready to respond and interact. So he's a regular at this type of thing.
Peter Quitner, emergency manager for Utah County. This is a regular thing when we go to different counties. I've been on the receiving end of this several times. Go to a location and they host us, and so it's just cooperative relationships. But we did make it very clear that this agreement, we do have other people that are scheduled to occupy that facility, and we were made aware of that. And so we did make that clear, and they're very aware of that. And so we'll kick them out high and dry on the street if we have to.
We do have a roof, so
But we are aware. We are aware of that. So
thanks, Peter.
yeah, you bet.
Any other comments you want the public to be aware of?
No, again, I sympathize again for all those flocks. This, like I said, the second time I've been in Utah, I've responded in a couple other states, and it's a bad deal for everybody, whether it's backyard flocks. We understand the connection people have, whether it's your livelihood with if it's your business, it's not easy. And so, I just want the public to understand that we sympathize with them, and we are, veterinarian, livestock producers ourselves. So we understand, we appreciate any support that the public can give us.
I'm glad you're here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'll make a motion that we approve and authorize the signing of the lease agreement as stated in number 11 on our regular agenda.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, that passes 3-0. We have no other items, and we don't have any closed session items. So are there any public comments that would like to be offered? This is a unique time. I'm hearing crickets. Okay. And I don't see anyone online. Do you see anyone else that I am missing? Okay. Ready for another motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.